Hi. If you're somebody who has been closely following our YouTube channel, you would have already seen videos on IELTS listening based on the question types MAPs and MCQs. In this video, we're going to see what I would personally say as one of the finest question types in IELTS listening, completion question type. As the name suggests, completion question type means something in incomplete form will be given to you and you need to fill in with appropriate words, or you have to fill in those gaps appropriately. That is what you mean by completion question type. Now, what do you need to complete? It can be a note. Notes, you usually prepare notes. For instance, you might be having a telephonic conversation with a person, maybe a friend of yours, and you're making arrangements for a party at the weekend. So what are the arrangements need to be done? So as your friend gives in details, you might make a note of those. So such a note can be obtained as a question for your completion type of question. And all the details will not be filled. There will be gaps or blank spaces in between, and you need to fill in those gaps as you listen to the audio in the most appropriate way. Just like notes, you may also get forms. Form completion is also another type of completion question that you get in IELTS listening. So let's see how this can be done. Now, what you see on the screen are questions for a completion type of task. So you can see complete the notes here. Then you can see complete the form below. So the questions, they appear the same, whether it be a note or whether it be form. What you can see is, like, you can see blank spaces or gaps in between, and what you have to do is, as you listen to the audio, you need to fill in those blank spaces with the suitable words that you hear from the audio. And you have to keep in mind that you're not supposed to paraphrase or change the word. You need to keep the word as such as you hear from as you hear it in the audio. Now, there are certain what are the steps or strategies that you need to keep in mind while attempting these questions? First, read the instructions carefully. So that is the first point. You have to understand the instructions regarding the question carefully. That is the first step to ensure that you are arriving at the right answer. You might have heard the right thing from the audio, but sometimes when you write down, your answers might turn out to be wrong. This will not happen if you have read the instructions carefully. Now I'll show you what these instructions are. Here you can see an instruction. Write no more than 3 words and or a number. So this is the instruction that you need to follow while writing down the answers to each question. Now, what does this mean? Write no more than 3 words and slash or a number. Now, what are the different possibilities, or what are the different possible types of answers that you can have? No more than means maximum 3. Maximum 3 words only you can have. So what are the different possible combinations that can be, or that can have, that you can have in these answers? 3 words and a number. So you can have 3 words plus a number, or you can have 2 words plus 1 number, or 1 word and a number is also fine. Another possibility is that this, taking into consideration this or, what are the different possible combinations or possibilities of answer types? Either you can have 3 words alone in the answer, or 2 words alone in the answer, or just 1 single word alone can be an answer. Or you can have just 1 number alone as the answer. So these are the different variations that can be seen in the answers, or that can happen in the answers that you get. Now, for instance, you hear something for the first question, well known for. Now, well known for, if you write the answer in 4 words, suppose if you have heard something of that sort in the audio, like scientific advancements and improved technology, something of that sort, well known for scientific advancements and improved technology. And you think that is the answer and you write it here, but it will be 4 words. When you write such an answer, it constitutes 4 words. So in that case, you're not adhering to the instruction. In that case, your answer will be wrong. So if you're getting the answer which is out of these probabilities, it means that your answer is wrong. So the first thing that you have to ensure is that you strictly adhere to the instructions given in the question. Now in this question, it's a different instruction. Here it is given 1 word or and a number. 1 word means you can only write 1 word, or you can either write only 1 word plus 1 number, or you can write only 1 word, or you can write only 1 number. So you have to read the instruction carefully. That is the first step or the first strategy. Now what next? The second thing is predict the possible answers. How do we do that? We should be able to guess what might be the answer for a specific question. Now when I say guess, you cannot actually pinpoint a specific answer, but still the type of answer which might appear in that blank, you can guess. For example, here dash days per year. In this question, dash days per year. So you cannot guess the exact number of days, but still what you can expect? You can expect a number to be heard for this answer. Now you look here, date. So here you can expect only a date, nothing else. Time. So again here you can expect a time in numbers, maybe 3:30, 4:30, whatever it is. So now again here, seat row or numbers. Here also you would be expecting a number. Okay. So in this way, this is what you mean by predicting the possible answers. Not the exact answer, but the type of answer. What type of answer can come for a particular gap. You should be able to predict, which actually means that you're making yourself ready for the type of answers that you can expect from the audio. That is what you mean by predict the possible answer. Rather than possible answers, what I would say is that the type of answers can be predicted. Now, the next thing is that prepare yourself for synonyms and paraphrasing. Now, this means that you get to see a lot of words in the question booklet. Now, you should not expect the same words to be heard in the audio. Mostly, it will be paraphrased. You will be hearing synonyms. For example, well known for. You might hear something like famous. The center is famous for. Now, something like historical background. Now, you might hear something like talking about the past. Then the complex consists of. You can hear something like the structure includes. So you should always keep in mind that there will be paraphrasing. You will hear synonyms in the audio and you have to proceed accordingly. Don't wait for the exact word that you see in the question booklet to be heard in the audio, then you might miss out things. Then the next point that you have to be careful is watch out for distractors. Now, distractors are words sometimes which might mislead you. You might feel that is the right answer, but that will not be the right answer. For example, here you can see time. Now, the time of booking is being asked here. So, in the audio you might hear the speaker saying that let's fix it for 2:30 p.m. Then he might self-correct and say that, oh, I think 2:30 p.m. is too early, let's make it for 4. So again you hear another time, 4 p.m. So these are called as distractors. You have to identify which is the right answer. You have to listen carefully and understand. Like here you're expecting a time to be heard, but you might hear multiple times being mentioned in the audio. So they are called as distractors, and there will be self-corrections to actually mislead you or misguide you. Another possibility of a distractor can be, like for example, seats in the. So here you are expected to hear an area in the theatre where they want to book the seats. So it can be a balcony or it can be front row, whatever it is. Now you can hear in the audio like, actually my preference is balcony, but my kids want it in the front row. And then he might say that, okay, let's go with my choice, which means that you have decided balcony. So be mindful regarding the distractors. So these are the points that you need to keep in mind while attempting this completion type of questions. You have to read the instructions carefully. You have to predict or think of the possible answers that might appear in that specific gap. And then you have to prepare yourself for hearing synonyms in the audio, and you should also be mindful regarding the distractors. Then just mentioning the technique that is used in solving this questions in completion type of questions. We call it as the APT techniques. This is nothing but like what I've just explained. That is analyze, predict and track. Analyze means you read the questions. You read through the questions and understand what it is all about. Then predict means you guess the possible answers that might appear in the blank spaces. Then track means you understand where the audio has reached using the words that you have identified in the question. Tracking the audio means you would have underlined the keywords in the question booklet. Now using those keywords, you have to track the audio. You understand that where the audio has reached using the keywords. For instance, I'll show you. Analyzing the question means you read through the questions and understand what all you might hear in the audio. You can be sure that they'll be talking about why this place is well known for, then what are the different aspects, what are the different things that comes in this specific arts center. Then you can hear about the historical background of this arts center. So this is analysis, going through the questions and understanding what all are contained here. And then predict means like how we have done earlier, the predicting or guessing the type of answers that might come. For example, dash open to, in dash open to public. In, maybe it can be a season or it can be a time period, whatever. So this is predicting the type of answer that you can have in each of these blanks. Now then comes this tracking. Tracking means all these are keywords: concert rooms, theatres, cinemas, art galleries. Now when you hear, suppose if you hear art gallery in the audio, then you can be sure that the audio has reached this point, which means the details which are about this have already been covered in the audio. So the audio will always align with the sequence of the questions. Now that is how you track the audio. And while tracking, you have to be sure that you should be expecting for synonyms. Don't think that you will be hearing the same words in the question booklet in the audio. Now using this, let's try out an example.
Section 1. You will hear a young man phoning a town's youth council. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5.
Okay, so initially they've asked to look at questions 1 to 5, and it's a note completion task. What we just learned is that we have to read the instructions carefully. So from this instruction, we understand that we are supposed to fill in the answers using just one word and one number, or it can be just one word alone or just a number alone. So only these three combinations can come: one word and one number together, one word alone, or just a number alone. Now we have to analyze and predict the answers. The details of this person, Roger Brown, can be seen through this note. The age is given 18. Age is a keyword. We underline the keyword. Then this is already given as an example. Now then the next, currently staying in a. So in a means you can expect a place, the kind of place to be mentioned here, maybe in an apartment or a hotel or a villa, we don't know. Then next keyword is postal address. Postal address, it's given as 17, dash street. Again, you can expect a name of a street here. Then the third one is postcode, which means you can expect a number here. Occupation, student and part-time job as a. So a job to be heard here. Studying dash. So what can you expect? A subject, the name of a subject here. Then you have hobbies. So you should be looking out for the interests. Maybe they would be mentioning music, dancing, we don't know, playing cricket, whatever it is. Then on youth council wants to work with young people who are. Young people who are means maybe some sort of a condition, or people who are unable to walk or unable to study, maybe a state or condition of young people you can expect. Will come to talk to the elections officer next Monday at dash PM. So obviously it will be time. Mobile number, of course, you'll be hearing a number. Now we have analyzed the questions and predicted the possible type of answers. Now let's listen to the audio and find out how close we are to our expectations or guess.
You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Good morning, Youth Council. Caroline speaking.
Oh, hello. I'm interested in standing for election to the Youth Council, and I was told to give you a call.
That's good. Could I have your name, please?
Yes, it's Roger Brown.
Thank you.
The young man's name is Roger Brown, so Brown has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good morning, Youth Council. Caroline speaking.
Oh, hello. I'm interested in standing for election to the Youth Council, and I was told to give you a call.
That's good. Could I have your name, please?
Yes, it's Roger Brown.
Thank you. I'm Caroline, the Youth Council Administrator. So, do you know much about what the council does, Roger?
All the recordings will be played once only. To an answer sheet. Now turn to section 1. Section 1. You will hear a young man phoning a town's youth council. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5.
So as you can see, this is a note completion task. Now we know that during that sometimes they give to analyze the question, what are the things that we have to do quickly. You have to understand the instruction carefully. It should be the answers, all the answers should be either one word and a number, or either one word or a number. So the possible combinations that you can have for the answers are either it can be one word plus one number or just one word alone, or it can be one number alone. These are the only three possible combinations that can happen for the answers 1 to 5, or rather 1 to 10. Now the first one is given as an example. Then you have this keyword age here. Currently means presently the person is staying in a dash, so it can be the type of accommodation. So it can be something like a flat or a villa, house, we don't know what it is. So you can expect that type of accommodation. Then postal address, dash street. So again you can expect a word, the name of the street being mentioned there. Then postcode, which will be a number, occupation, student and part-time job as. So you can hear the name of a job being mentioned. Then studying, dash and dash. Inside brackets it's given major subject. So a subject is expected to be heard here. Now let's try.
You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Good morning, Youth Council. Caroline speaking.
Oh, hello. I'm interested in standing for election to the Youth Council, and I was told to give you a call.
That's good. Could I have your name, please?
Yes, it's Roger Brown.
Thank you.
The young man's name is Roger Brown, so Brown has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good morning, Youth Council. Caroline speaking.
Oh, hello. I'm interested in standing for election to the Youth Council, and I was told to give you a call.
That's good. Could I have your name, please?
Yes, it's Roger Brown.
Thank you. I'm Caroline, the Youth Council Administrator. So, do you know much about what the council does, Roger?
I've talked to Stephanie. I think she's the chair of the council.
That's right.
And she told me a lot about it. How it's a way for young people to discuss local issues, for example, and make suggestions to the town council. That's what made me interested.
Fine. Well, let me take down some of your details. First of all, how old are you? You know the council is for young people aged from 13 to 18.
I've just turned 18.
And where do you live, Roger?
Well, that's a bit complicated. At the moment, I'm looking for a flat to rent here. So I'm in a hostel from Monday to Friday. I go back to my parents' place at the weekend.
Okay. So where's the best place to send you some information about the council?
Oh, to my parents' address, please. That's 17 Buckley Street, Buckley Street, Stamford, Lincolnshire. Though you don't really need the county.
Oh, I know Stamford. It's a lovely town. And what's the postcode?
PE9 7QT.
Right, thank you. So are you working here or are you a student?
I started studying at the university a couple of weeks ago, and I've got a part-time job for a few hours a week.
What do you do?
Well, I've done several different things. I've just finished a short-term contract as a courier, and now I'm working as a waiter in one of the big hotels.
Uh-huh. That can't leave you much time for studying.
Oh, it's not too bad. I managed to fit it all in.
What are you studying?
My ambition is to go into Parliament eventually, so my major subject is politics. That's partly why I think the Youth Council is important and want to be a part of it.
And I suppose you're also taking a minor subject, aren't you? I know a lot of people study economics too.
I chose history. To be honest, I'm not finding it as interesting as I expected.
Before you hear the rest of the phone call, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10.
So we have filled in 1 to 5, And now you get time to fill in 6 to 10. So here they are talking about hobbies, so something of activities of the person's interest. For example, it can be cycling, or it can be dancing, listening to music, hiking, we don't know. So some sort of interest can be heard here as well as here. Then on youth council wants to work with young people who are. So the type of young people or a category of young people with whom Mr. Roger Brown wants to work with. The category of young people whom he wants to associate with or want to work with can be heard here. It can be maybe people who are unable to study or who are kind of handicapped, we don't know. We can expect something of that sort in the audio. Then we'll come to talk to the elections officer next Monday at. So it'll be a time, and also PM is mentioned here. So obviously you can expect time here. Mobile number, again a number is expected to be heard here. So let's listen to the audio.
Now listen and answer questions 6 to 10.
Okay, so with your studying and your part-time job, do you have time for any other interests or hobbies?
Well, I spend quite a lot of time cycling, both around town to get to university and to work, and also long distance, from here to London, for instance.
That's pretty impressive. Anything else?
For relaxation, I'm also keen on the cinema. I used to go at least once a week, but I can't manage to go so often now.
Right. Are you sure you'll have enough time for the youth council?
Yes, I've worked out that I can afford to reduce my hours at work, and that will make the time.
So is there any particular aspect of the youth council's work that appeals to you, Roger?
Well, my sister is blind, so I'm particularly interested in working with disabled young people to try and improve the quality of their lives.
That's great. Well, the best way to get involved is to be nominated by some people who you know.
Right. Can you tell me how to set about organising that?
You should talk to Jeffrey, our elections officer. I can arrange a meeting in the council office with him if you like.
Yes, please.
He'll be here next Monday, if that suits you.
That's the 14th, isn't it?
Yes.
I can manage late afternoon.
Would you like to suggest a time? He generally leaves around 5:30.
Well, would 4:30 be okay? My last class finishes at 4, so I'd have plenty of time to get to your office.
Right, that's fine. Oh, and could I have a phone number we can contact you on?
Yes, my mobile number's 07788 136 711.
Thank you. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks very much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, so we have filled in all the gaps. Hopefully it's right. I'll show you the answers also. Now, one thing that you would have understood is that the answers that we have filled in by listening to the audio, it's more or less close or similar to the type of answers that we have guessed. And to bring to your attention some of the distractors that you would have heard, some of you would have noticed it. For instance, here, when discussing about the stay, Mr. Roger Brown is staying in now. He mentions that he's looking for a flat, but right now he's staying in a hostel. So this is just to distract you. Then you would have heard a distractor here. For example, when asking about the part-time job, he says that initially he worked as a courier and now he works as a waiter. This is again a distractor. Then when it comes to this time, you would have noticed multiple times being mentioned. They initially say that this elections officer will be there till 5:30. Then Roger says that he can come here by 4:30 because his class gets over by 4. So again, distractors. Along with distractors, you would have also noticed synonyms, a lot of synonyms indeed. For example, for occupation, they are mentioning work. Then for here, like interest, they are mentioning keen, and many more. Okay, so now I'll just show you the answers. And let's see whether they are right or not. Yes, hostel, Buckley, PE97QT, yes, waiter, politics, cycling, cinema, disabled, 4:30 p.m. and of course this number. Yes, so it's a 10 on 10. So keep practicing your listening. The more you listen, the more you get adapted to it, and you'll find it easier so that you get familiarized with the accent. And as you practice, make sure that you use or you apply the strategies that we have discussed now. We'll be right back with the remaining question types. Stay tuned.
MedCity International Academy. Trusted hands forever.